Do you ever taste a dish that reminded you immediately of childhood? For me, Frijoles Charros are that dish. Frijoles Charros get their name from Charros, the Mexican horsemen, the OG cowboys. Imagine open spaces, long days on horseback, an open fire with a pot of beans bubbling over it, filled with chorizo, bacon, some jalapeño, some tomato if they had it. It's a big bubbling cauldron of amazing flavor. In my family, my tia Chayo was always tasked with making a big old pot for family gatherings you talk about, parties, Christmas, especially carne asadas because it pairs perfectly with a piece of grilled meat. Today I'm showing you how to make my version of it. I promise you this is one of those recipes that is great to have in your back pocket. Let's get after it. I've already cut the bacon. I kind of just took like out of the package and just get slices off of it. You can cut it as small as you'd like, but I think that's good enough for me. Chorizo, we're just gonna smash it down in here. Behind me here on the stove, we have Mama Z's gift to me. She gifted me that clay olla. She saw my frijoles de la olla video and she's like, dude, you need a pot. So she was kind enough to gift me that one. So we're putting it, it's made in Voyage. Inside of them are my frijoles de la olla. I will link it somewhere here, here, there. I'm still learning the YouTube. We have some white onion that we're just gonna chop up. I'm using like half of a medium to large onion. I like a lot of onion in mine. Again, recipe's gonna be down below always, guys, or on my website. Make sure you're checking that out as well. Now we're gonna do our garlic. These are the ones I'm using today. They're pretty jumbo. This is like me and the guy that she tells me not to worry about. So we're just gonna take our garlic and then take the side of our knife and smash it. Again, these are gigantic. It's gonna mince this up. All right, jalapeno time. It's gonna take the ends off. You could switch out for a hotter chile if you'd like. Like a serrano would be good in there too. These jalapenos have a little bit of kick to them. I know I made a joke about them in another video that they're not very spicy, but I think they heard me and then they banded together to form like the strongest they've ever been. Okay, jalapenos done. We have some Roma tomatoes here. I mean, you could take these and core them. So take your like little knife like that and get them out, because some people are gonna be in the comments like, you didn't take the core out. All right, for the tomato, you're just gonna take it, cutting down on it like that. They don't have to be perfect. This recipe is super rustic. We're talking about cowboy beans, guys. Frijolitos charros are stuff to be eaten out on the range, you know? Cilantrito. The stems, especially in this recipe, are super important because for me, the stems have the most flavor of all time. I just take the bottom part that's almost turning brown, the little woody part, just that. But the rest of this stuff is gold and we're gonna use it, okay? So I just take it and make like a little herb cigar, like my buddy used to make in college here. All right, look. There you go. Dude, the stems on this, the best. What a lot of people get wrong about cilantro is they'll see this and then they'll go back through it with their knife. Guys, if your cutting board at the end of cutting cilantro or any herb is green, that's all that flavor the herb had in your cutting board. So with herbs, treat them nicer, a little finer, be gentle, whisper a little bit, give them a little, it's okay, I love you, you're gonna be great, okay? Give them one of those, little pep talk for your herbs, okay? Herbs done, I think we're ready to cook, the best part. All right, guys, it's time to start cooking our frijolitos charros. I'm gonna heat this up. Now, the bacon and chorizo have a lot of fat in them. I know, I get it, but I'm gonna add a little bit of oil to this. I'm not gonna add lard to this because my beans already have lard. I think it would be overkill. If you wanna cook in lard, you know me, get after it. But for this recipe, I'm just gonna use a little bit of neutral oil, okay? Just like, I'm talking like, that's 2 tablespoons in there, okay? It's just to provide a little bit of safe space, which we all need for the bacon. Okay, tocinito going in, let's go. Because this recipe is the sum of all its parts, I've seen recipes out there that people just throw all this in a pot together and then hope for the best. We're not doing it here, okay? What's gonna set mine and yours, what's gonna set apart our frijoles charros is gonna be the taking care of each ingredient. So what's gonna happen? We're gonna render out the bacon, cook it down till crispy. At that point, you can remove it. Chorizo goes in, gets nice and crispy, delicious. Onion goes in with the chorizo, a little bit of salt, building flavor. So we're just gonna get that broken up and we're just gonna keep cooking that down. All right, guys, our bacon is looking really nice, super crispy. You don't wanna render it too far down, but you do want it to get a good texture on there, nice and crispy. I'm gonna take a slotted spoon here, look at that. Beautiful bacon. All right, we're gonna take most of it out, try our best to get all of it. And the reason I take it to this crispy level, it's gonna continue to carry over cook in here. The reason I take it to this level is because I like a little texture in my beans, and I just feel like golden brown color counts for so much in this recipe. I'm gonna turn off my heat for a second while I fish this out, because the last thing you want is to scald your lard or your bacon fat in this point. In this case, sometimes I can't talk, you know? That's why they keep me in the kitchen. Sir, this is not a talking roll. You just gotta nod and wave, baby. So you can see this is a lot of fat in here. You could take like a ladle, shift this over to the side and take out, this is like a 4-ounce ladle or something like that. Take a little bit out. You don't need all of it. There you go. Chorizo's going in, all right? And the name of the game for the chorizo is we're just gonna break this up as best we can. Get it crispy. The chorizo I'm using is the stuff out of the package. I'm not even gonna front, okay? I'm usually the guy that's like, hey, buy the good stuff, but for a recipe like this, it's okay not to, okay? But in here, you can still smell the cinnamon in there, it's delicious. So you can see the chorizo is rendering pretty quickly. Onions are gonna go in to this at this point. So we're gonna get our onions in, and it's gonna bring down the heat temperature, or it's gonna bring down the temperature of our pan, all right? And it's also gonna allow to pick up all that fond at the bottom there. We're gonna add a little pinch of salt to this to kind of allow the onions to release their moisture, and it's gonna help us get that fond off the bottom a little bit easier. I'm gonna watch my heat there. Yeah, there, you can see that coming off the bottom there. And just do your best to scrape this up. Yep, there it is. And the onions, the name of the game on them is just to get them kind of golden, and then the rest of our ingredients go in. So right now, some cultures would call this a sofrito. Sofrito is just a mix of usually onion, garlic, peppers. Sometimes they do herbs in different cultures. This is no different than a sofrito. So when I'm making a sofrito, I'm taking my time to make sure I'm cooking it properly, because it's so important. It's such simple ingredients, but if you treat them nicely and keep cooking them different times, different temperatures, your stuff's gonna come out that much better. And when I laugh because people are like, cooking with love doesn't make a difference. Honestly, guys, that's cooking with love. It's just being thoughtful and being like, you know what? I'm gonna take my time. I wonder what happens if I put the onion in at this point. And that's what I feel about cooking is so beautiful, is like, dude, being a curious cook counts for so much. And I think that leads you down some cool paths versus just kind of being in autopilot. Now, don't get me wrong. I get into autopilot all the time. Oh yeah, look at that. Chorizo and onions are at the point that I like them. Super tender, translucent, delicious. They smell incredible. Now I'm gonna add my garlic to this. And I'm gonna add my jalapeño. Like I said, if you don't like spice, don't put as many jalapeños in there. You can change up the chile. If you like spice, maybe change them out for serranos. A lot of different ways to do it. Also, I wanted to talk about like the meats you could use in there. Right now, the most common ones you see are bacon and chorizo. Also, I've seen like Oscar Mayer, like those weenies in there. They'll chop up hot dogs and throw them in there as well. Personally, I've done brisket ends in there, and it's fantastic. Can you call them frijoles charros? I don't know. What were the Cowboys cooking out there? I wasn't there. I don't know. So maybe you could switch them out. I don't know. But ideally, you have some sort of cured meat that's savory as hell in there, and that's it. Look at this. This is smelling incredible. And look, I know I called it a sofrito earlier. It is. Look at this thing. Onions, garlic, chiles. Delicious. We keep cooking that out. Flavor is next level there. I appreciate you guys asking me for this recipe, because honestly, I cook it so much in the summertime. I know it seems crazy to do like a brothy bean in the summer, but this is the cookout bean. They belong at cookouts. I don't know what to tell you. All right, that looks great. All right, now at this point, I'm gonna add my tomatoes in there. There we go. So the rule with these guys is I'm gonna cook them down until the moisture's out of them. You know, if you added the beans now, they kind of look sad. But if you cook them down a little bit, it just comes out that much better. I'm gonna cook these down for a second. All right. And also the moisture is gonna help us pick up any kind of burnt bits on the side over here. You can hear that sound. The tomatoes have released a lot of their moisture. They're getting concentrated in flavor. They smell incredible. And for the tomato product, you can definitely use like canned tomatoes, but I would go with like fire roasted are good. If you don't have them, again, They're cowboy beans. Have you ever seen those old westerns where they used to like put the cans over the fire and then like eat out of them? I thought that was so badass as a kid. Bacon goes into the pan. Back in. Beautifully rendered bacon. You're gonna get that warmed up. Woo! That looks wonderful. So here are my frijolitos de la olla. So I'm just gonna take the onion out, all the air mats off of them. There we go. So, guys, for this, you can take the sofrito and put it in here and just keep simmering it, but I'm gonna put it in here just so I can keep an eye on it a little bit better. These have been simmering for a minute, honestly. You know what? We're going all in. We're going all in with these here. We're just gonna pop these in. Yeah, there we go. They're all out. Perfect. Shout out to Mama Z for that thing. It's sick. Now, I'm gonna take some out of here. You could do this in a blender, all right? So a little move I do, a nice little move that we do. So I'm taking like 2 cups out, all right? That looks good to me. I'm just gonna take a stick blender. And before you guys say, you're doing it in a plastic cup, guys, we're all gonna die, okay? I don't know what to tell you. So it has like a little protector to keep from scraping any kind of plastic, but there it is. Okay, just that right there is gonna make our beans texture go crazy. Delicious. All right, look, check this out. Our beautiful bean. And this is just a little cheap move. Optional, you don't need to do it, all right? Not everyone does it, but I like doing it, okay? So I'm gonna simmer these for about 20 minutes on very low heat, just so they kind of get a little bit more flavor, everyone gets to know each other. And in the meantime, we're gonna make some incredible tortillas, because we got the time. All right. Okay guys, while the beans are simmering, I figured I'd have time to make some tortillitas. I have some masa here that I made with masarina. I'll probably do a video, a more in-depth video on tortilla making. But for today, I'm just gonna make some for my Frijoles Charros. It'll be a nice little addition to them. Also, I forgot to buy tortillas at the store. So this is kind of, I mean, not a bad last resort, not gonna lie to you. There you go. I mean, there's nothing better than handmade tortillas and beans, in my opinion. That's good eating. Honestly, like I said earlier, because this is a very central Mexican norteño tradition, you can use flour tortillas for sure. Use whatever tortillas you like, honestly. Come on. Who are we kidding, you know? Little puff there, tiny puff. I'm cool with it, I'm cool with it. And very important, when the tortilla is done cooking on the comal, you need to put it in a tortillero to steam a little bit. It's the final cook. It's just kind of carry over cooks and sets the tortilla. A lot of people forget it. All right, guys, beans have been simmering for about 25 to 30 minutes here. The texture's incredible. I'm happy with it. That's as far as I'd like to cook them down. At this point, if you wanted more broth, definitely do that. I always finish with cilantro, just because I like the freshness of it. So the cilantro goes in, and I would give it maybe 5 more minutes, tops. Give these guys a little taste. They're so good. A little pinchy pinch of salt. There it is. That's it. That was like half a teaspoon to like 3/4 of a teaspoon, pretty much. Perfect. That's all I want. Done. I'm gonna shut that off. And guys, we're ready to eat. That is Frijoles Charros, the way I like them. They're delicious. I'm gonna plate out. I only want a little bit right now. But yeah, you can add some chicken stock to this, no problem. But this is kind of the texture that I like right there. You're gonna top it with some cilantro, like so, all over. All right, now it's time to try these beans. Can't wait. So here, you know the moves. Look at these. Hell yeah, they're so good. This is a whole meal by itself, for real. Delicious. In the wintertime, I'd want these a little bit brothier. Right now that it's hot, these are fine. Because I'm not trying to be my mom where she cooks like caldo de res when it's 100 degrees out. Guys, that was Frijoles Charros my way. I hope you make it your way. Thanks for everybody that's been here commenting, subscribing, liking. Wouldn't be possible without you. So if you can give the video a thumbs up, We would appreciate it if you can subscribe, even better. Hit me up with suggestions in the comments. Like I said, these are my way. Make them your own way. They're delicious, I promise you. Recipes down below. Make these. I'm gonna go eat these in private over my garbage can, okay? Because they're that good. I hope you guys make them. Love you. Bye.